Oopsie whoops. That's not going to work. Stay up there. Hi, Stephanie. I'm sorry for the wobbly camera. I'm having a little technical difficulty today, so I'm kind of improvising with something. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Let me get on here and share this to my other. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Diane. Thanks for watching, Angela. I just want to hop onto my page and share this to the other one. Hello, Donna. Hi, Patricia from Indiana. Good morning, Brina. Let me turn this off so nobody has to hear me talk. How's everybody doing today? Almost missed me. Well, I'm a couple minutes early, truth be told, and I was having some difficulties with my phones today, so I'm going to pin this up to the top so everybody can see it in case they're coming in. Hi, Avanel. Nice to see you. Good morning, Joyce. So, I'm going to be very honest with you today. Look at the color card we're going to make. Hot pink and orange. Just kidding. This is just my practice card that I was making. All right, I'm going to pin this up top so everybody can see it. Let's see. Yeah, it won't let me. Stinkers. Okay, well, the post is at the top. I unpinned last week. So, I was actually, I was working on a couple different things. And, okay, I can see your comments. I was working on a couple different things, and I was trying to figure out exactly what it was that I wanted to do. And I was also, like, looking around. I found all my gift cards, so I was adding gift cards. So we have lots of gift cards to use, mostly Disney World. Can you tell what we love around here? But I was fooling around with some stuff. I put all my other gift card holders. If you guys missed these are on the blog at Rachthestamper. These are some really simple envelope gift card holders. This is the little sneaky pocket gift card holder. See, so you can see that it does fit in there. This one was using the everyday label punch. So really good idea. If you don't have something for to punch, you could use a circle punch. You could use the everyday label. I think we used the pretty label punch on this one. So anyway, those are all on the blog. So if you missed them, I'm not going to go over them again. You can get all the measurements. Lots of fun ideas there. I also did a little sneak peek. I'm going to show you this card I created. Really quick and simple card. So I will put this on the blog later this week, but it's really simple. I actually got this inspiration from Donna, who's on here watching. Thanks, Donna. She gave me some measurements. I just used a piece of DSP in the background. Obviously, I didn't put enough tack there, but then just did a label. I made my own little background, put the thinking of you. So really simple. And this is in Grapefruit Grove and Blackberry Bliss, which was a color combination on the DSP, so I figured why not. Add a little copper to it. Very pretty. You could change this to any other color. There's so many other papers in there that you could swap this out to. So really simple card to be able to share. Hi, Terry from Tampa. Hope everything's okay over there on the west and panhandle of Florida. I know there are a lot of people affected, and I tell you, my thoughts and prayers are with you. I can't imagine losing everything I have. I guess the good part is if you still have all of your family and if you still have your pets, but my thoughts and prayers are with you all. I cannot imagine how devastating that must be. However, hopefully, maybe if someone's watching this, this will bring a little spark of sunshine to your day. I do have a few specials just to share with you guys. My October freebies are on my blog. If you go to rachthestamper.com and you click October specials, or I believe it says monthly specials, that will tell you all the goodies that I'm giving away with orders. But I'm going to tell you, anyone who places an order, also additionally with me, it does have to at least be a $50 order. You always get a free PDF, but I'm going to give also a little extra bonus surprise away. I have some DSP to share. So anyone who places an order with me through the end of the week, so I'm going to say we'll give it through Saturday. So Saturday will be the 20th. So anyone who places an order from now to the 20th, I will give you a little extra bonus. So there is $50, you get a free PDF, full color, lots of fun. $100, I believe there are some embellishments that I shared, and I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. And then there was another gift with a $100 order. So make sure you do use the hostess code. Hello, Dana. I'm glad you finally caught me live. Make sure you use the hostess code on the top of this. It is pinned to the top, the October hostess code, and I'll be happy to send you another little extra freebie. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Maybe it'll make your Christmas card making a little bit easier. But what I thought we would do today, and again, I just have this template because I kind of was just fiddling around with it. I've seen lots of people making gift card holders, and I think they're called like a waterfall. But what they have is they have this little tab in here. And I've seen them with 3 tabs, but I kind of thought 3 tabs for me is a lot because we have a lot of people that we buy stuff for. And if we wanted to give a gift card, or maybe if you wanted to give just a gift card for a birthday or something, you might only want 1 tab. So I figured we could kind of do 1. And the gift card that I had will fit in this. I was originally going to do it long ways, but it was just a little too bulky. So I went back to the thin way. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the little insert for this. We're going to lay some DSP on one side. We'll decorate the other side DSP. This is why I also said you could do this as Christmas. So we're going to use the Making Christmas Bright, I believe. And I also has a punch that goes along with it. So this is a fun set. I haven't really used this much yet, except for the Friends Make the Season Shine. But you could also do this if you're doing like a regular, if you're doing a masculine birthday, you could do Rooted in Nature. Also, side note, I can't find this stamp. I don't know what I did with it. I was furiously looking for it. So, all of you who get sad because you lose something, it's not just you. I miss things too. You could do something for a baby shower if you wanted to give maybe the mom a gift to like a spa, which would be a great idea for a mom, or you want to give the baby like a gift card for something like Target or whatever the case may be. You could use this animal outing. You could also do a fall gift card or Thanksgiving. Maybe if you want to give a little something to your hostess for Thanksgiving, you could do something with Painted Harvest or with Colorful Season. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a Christmas one today. So we'll do the Making Christmas Bright. And then I'm going to do a couple extras throughout the day, and then I'll just post them. But I'll do one for a baby shower. We'll do one for that for sure. Maybe we'll do something like a fall theme or a masculine theme. I haven't decided that yet, but when I finish posting this, after I pick up Stinker Pants, I will make 2 other versions of these and share them with you. But until that time, we're going to make this one. So I do need some help. We're going to decide what colors we're going to use. We could use Poppy Parade. Let me just pop these out so you can see. We also have Mary Merlot is another beautiful Christmas one. We have, where is my shaded spruce? Nope, we got Tranquil Tide. Those are great Christmas colors as well. And where's my poppy? Nope, that's real red. I have Poppy Parade here, which also pairs nicely with the shaded spruce. Those are really, really good Christmas colors, these two. So, what do we say for a background? What do we want to go with? Do we want to go with red or green? I got a Mary Merlot already. I saw somebody posted that one. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. There never be someone here. Need a baby shower card. There you go. Oh, well, congratulations. You're going to be a great grandma again, Marty. Awesome. Well, you'll like later then. Merlot. All right, I see Merlot and Spruce. Merlot. Believe me, Diana, I feel your pain. I am like all torn up about the fact, because especially since I made this card the other day, the card I just shared with you guys. So I have no idea. I'm hoping it's around here somewhere and it's not in the trash can, because then I'm really going to be sad. Spruce and Merlot. All right, so it sounds decided. We're going to do Mary Merlot and we're going to do Shaded Spruce. So we'll figure out what we're going to do for those 2. I'm going to put the rest of this on the side. So we will do, Mary Merlot as our base, and then we'll make the little flap Shaded Spruce. So I'm going to pull 2 of these out. And you can most likely, again, I haven't made this yet, so I try to do this with you all so you can see, you remember last week with the brayering, what not to do necessarily. So you probably could do this either way. You could probably do it as a side folding. You could probably do it this way as a top folding. You could also do it as a traditional card. So we will figure out which way we're going to cut it. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut the Mary Merlot. This is just a regular old card base, so we'll score this at 4 1/4, and then we'll cut it at 5 1/2. All right, so this is going to go this way. So we'll do this one as an opening card this way, and then whoops, dimensional backing. When I do the other one later, I'll change it up a little bit so you guys can see that. And then we're going to cut our piece of shaded spruce. This needs to be 2 3/4 by 10. So this side will be the long side. This is the 11-inch side. So we're going to just trim this down to 2 3/4. So put that one there. And then we're going to just, this is 11. So we're going to just take off 1 inch. So by 10. So we just have this little piece here. And then you can certainly use your paper trimmer if you'd like, but I'm going to go ahead and grab my Simply Scored and I'm going to score this. So we have 2 3/4 is the short side by 10 inches. And all we're going to do is score this at every 2.5 inches. So we have 2.5, 5, 7.5. I will put all the measurements for all this stuff on the blog later, so no worries. You don't have to write it down furiously. That's what I used to do when I was watching videos. So I'm going to fold this in half, and then I'm going to fold these out like that, okay? So it makes an M. So I am going to go ahead and just crease this with my bone folder. And then I'm going to do the back creases as well. Now we are going to need our paper trimmer because we're going to have to cut out some DSP to decorate this with. And we're going to also need to cut out some white paper to stamp with. But what we're going to do for now is we're going to cut this. So I'm going to use, if you want to make, you have your stitch labels. If you wanted to cut this out to be able to save it for something else, you could do your ovals or you could do your squares, and then you would have a square that of this you would be able to use. So what I'm going to show you, because I haven't done this again, so I'm just kind of going along. What we're going to do is, this is our base, okay? And this is going to be where our gift card holder goes in. So it's going to go in like that. And then when they open it, these flaps are going to be covered up by something. We're going to have this little piece in here. And I'm going to have to see how these are going to go. That should be fine, because I haven't made this before. We're going to kind of eyeball where we would want this. So we'll say we don't want it to be too deep, because you want to be able to slide your gift card in and out. And let's make sure this one at least measures. Should be okay. You'll have to take a peek. So you're not supposed to cut 2 pieces at once. So what we're going to kind of do is we're going to kind of eyeball where we think we want it. It doesn't need to be too deep because we want to be able to slide this in. So I'm going to just grab a piece of my reused many times, my blue tape, like that. And then I'm just going to open it and see. The centering's a little bit off on that. So I'm going to move it over just a smidge. Just so it's centered a little bit better. Kind of like that. I want to make sure that more so that this is centered up and down and it's a little bit off. There we go. It's like tree cutting season. All I can hear over here is chainsaws going. Okay, so that looks fairly even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into my Big Shot and cut this out. So just like that. I'm going to cut that out, run this through. Hopefully this works out the way I've planned. We will see. Hi, Kathy. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Arlene. So let's peel this off. Let me bring this one in first. Now you do have your little bend here. So if you're going to use this for a background, most likely you would cover it up with something anyway, but you could save this. So there's a piece of paper that you could save for something else. And you want to pull your paper, whoops, look at that. First of all, maybe stick with the washi, because this tape lately, I think it's because I've used it too many times, and with running it through the Big Shot, it's not real happy with me. So what I'm going to do, you always learn something on this, I'm hoping, at least anyway. So I'm going to chuck this piece, but this one I'm going to put on the back end. So that way, most likely, they won't see it quite as much. So purple tape or the green frog tape, those are going to be your better bets. So I'm just going to recrease this. And then another thing you could do if you wanted to is you could emboss this. Now these pieces here aren't going to show, but you could run this through an embossing folder. You could even run it through the subtles folder just to give it a little bit of texture. That'd be pretty cool. So why not? While we're here, let's just do it. Jazz it up a little bit. You do want to make sure that your centerpiece, that you're kind of centered. Again, the underneath flaps don't really matter quite as much, so you could put this all the way to the top if you wanted to make sure it was really centered. And then we'll put this through. Let me see. I'm afraid this is going to tear if I put it too close to the edge, so I'm actually going to bring it back to the middle. That's why I had it in the middle to begin with. Okay. And again, this is one of those dynamic folders, so I only have my base and then one cutting pad just for some pressure. So we'll put this through. Oh, hi Adeline. Hey, it's always nice to have little kids joining you, because as we've seen all this past summer, they certainly do give you a fresh perspective on things. All right, so there, it did lose the crease line a little bit, but that's okay. So with your crease line, we'll just go back in and fold this, fold it, and fold it back down. So a little bit of, let me see where that is. A little bit of texture on our paper, if you can see that. If you guys don't have this Subtles folder, I know I've said this before, that catalog does not one bit of justice to how cool it is. All right, so this will be our inside. And then we're going to have to figure out how to decorate our outside. So we do have, I have some great DSP that we can use. And let me see, what did I pull out here? Because I got a couple of these out ahead of time. You could always jazz it up with this one. This is the one we used for those other ones, the Joyous Noel. You could put some of these really pretty sheets on it. The berries, they're super cute. This one is more of a red. This was the All is Bright, which is the stamp set that we're going to use. So I'm not going to use this because the colors don't quite coordinate as much. You could probably use the Shaded Spruce, but... And then you have two other ones, again, depending on the color that you choose. We have Under the Mistletoe. This more so goes with Real Red and Shaded Spruce, but we could probably use the Christmas Balls. That almost could pass, or the Plaid. That could almost pass as well. So I don't want to pick anything too busy though, because I do want to decorate the front of the card. So I think I'm going to stick with one of these. And I'm going to pick two sides. So I'm going to use this one, which is really pretty. I think we'll have to trim this a little bit. And we're going to use one for the inside too. And then we're going to use a white panel for the inside as well. Joyous Noel, I know everybody loves that. This one's really beautiful as well. We'll use that piece too. So we'll use one of those as our cover piece, and one of them as just the one that's going to cover up our inside panel. And then we're going to need an inside panel for this one as well. So we're going to go ahead and trim these. Let me move this out of the way. Grab my paper trimmer, and we're going to do our other part with Whisper White. Grab my big folder of that. And I'll also, really quick, just to go back, so if anybody didn't catch the brayer card we made last week, it did end up really pretty, but I will tell you, I've been watching a lot of brayer videos this week, just kind of getting back into it, and I think that the, so I'm going to trim this to 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside piece. I think that the key is probably to definitely use the Whisper White cardstock. So this will be for our inside panel. And I'm going to cut 2 more, because I think that it's much smoother than I originally guessed it would be. So you might want to, if that's something that you were considering doing with the brayer, I know that that shimmer white cardstock does have a little bit deeper of a ridging to it. So that might be something you want to keep in mind. But I'm going to do a couple other videos. I just haven't had time. We were away this weekend camping. So as soon as I get everything back in order, I'm going to try to make some videos, because also I have to prepare for not being here for Disney. Whoop, whoop. And I get to go on vacation with my family. And then I also get to attend On Stage, which I'm super excited about. Actually, Center Stage. Okay, so we're going to use this one for the front. We're going to use this piece, is going to cover up one of our flaps here. And then this piece here is going to cover up one of our other flaps. So this we're going to decorate. And I might have to shift this over just a little bit. We'll have to see exactly how this fits. We may have to trim these down a smidge. And then one other thing we're going to do is we're going to decorate a little something to put onto the front here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bigger piece of Whisper White. I feel like this is probably 3 by 4. Let's see. 3. Yep, 3 by 4. So what we might end up doing is making a front panel for this. So I'm just going to kind of fool around. We'll see what it is that we like. So I'm going to grab my paper piercing mat because this is a photopolymer stamp. On stage, I know, I'm so excited. Anybody else want here? A demonstrator that's going to center stage. I'll be happy to meet you. All right, so we have our little leaves here. So just kind of trying to think of something. We have Merry and Bright. I also have my punch here, and I do have some of these punched out with the glimmer paper that goes along with this. So, friends make the season shine. We could do May Your Christmas Be, and then we could do that. That would be cute. May Your Christmas Be, and then on the inside panel, which is going to be this one, we have to figure out something else to coordinate with it. Oh, chilly! It is chilly here too. Believe me, Fern, we are like. We went from like 85 degrees, and then 2 days later, it was freezing. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these little twinkly stars. So these little stars right here. I'm going to put these along the top on the inside of the card. And then we will put May Your Christmas Be on the front. And then on the inside, we're going to do Bright. So we're going to kind of get this all laid out. So we'll put Bright there. And then we could also pop out some of these Christmas bulbs if we wanted to. Friends make the season shine. Oh, there's so many options. Just don't know what to do. I think on the front here, I'm going to add the light bulbs again because those are really fun. Or, how about on the front instead? Instead of using these again, we'll use this. We could do our line. We'll do our line here. We have our bulbs. We can pop out one of our bulbs or so, and then we have the little bulb thing here. All right, so I think we've formulated a plan. Oh, not center stage. Oh, I'm sorry, Dana. You know what? Another time, because it is definitely worth it. And if you're even just going to on stage, you're going to love it. It is so much fun. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add in these little stars. And I'm going to put them in Mango Melody. I'm going to alternate, and Daffodil Delight, just so they're like really bright and twinkly. So anyone who's never been to on stage, or if you're not familiar with it while I'm stamping this. So on stage is kind of like a big party, which is really fun. All right, since I'm going darker, I'm going to dip. And I'm going to move this one up a little bit. Just clean this off. Move this down. Same thing, I'll just go up. Just kind of like a smidge, just making a pattern. And I'm not going to do it all the way. I'm just going to do it on one. Kind of like, I'll do a little thing and then I'll stop in the middle. But anyway, on stage, you get to actually go and see all the new stuff. You get to meet demonstrators that you probably feel like kind of are celebrities, even though I feel that way every time I go. When I see people, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so-and-so, live and in person. I'm going to put just a couple of these at the top. Same thing on this side. Kind of like one of those chandeliers. If your grandmother, my grandmother had one of those little things that you walk through the curtains. The little star curtains. That's what it reminds me of. 40 in the spring feels like summer. Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm going to do Bright. And how about if we do Bright in... We'll do Bright in Shaded Spruce. So it kind of like wraps back in with the color. And then we'll do the light bulbs in that as well. But you get to make stuff. You get to see things. Orlando is probably going to be crazy because it's their 30th anniversary, first of all. So I'm just going to put Bright right here in the center. Give that a second. Wow, that turned out really well. I am proud of myself. I've been doing really good with my Stampin' and not messing anything up. I probably should have waited till the end of the video to say that, but all right, so I'm going to set that on the side so I don't ruin it. And then in the meantime, I'm going to grab, this is just the line. So you can make this any color you'd like. I know they have these so they match your light bulb. So I'm going to go with green. So I'm going to stick with Shaded Spruce. And I'm going to kind of make it off kilter a little bit. Just like that. And then we're going to add in all those little light bulb holders. So you could make these black, you could make them green, whatever you want to do. But I've probably been to, I think, about 3 on stages now. And the first one, I think I was like a lunatic because I was so excited just seeing people. I got to meet Linda Cullen for the first time. And I'm just stamping these in shaded spruce. And I'm just stamping and then stamping off. I met Gianna, if you guys are familiar with her, Stamp with Gigi. She was there. I think Tammy had gone to a different one that time. Put one off here to the side. So I kind of just added those off to the side, and then I'll stamp a bulb off to the side as well. And then the second one I went to, that one was in Richmond, which I've driven to. And then I drove to... last time I drove to Connecticut, I only ended up staying there, believe it or not, this probably sounds a little crazy, overnight for 1 night because I really didn't have a whole lot to do. So I was like, well, I'll just drive home, and most everybody else went home as well. But it was the coolest drive. I drove up through New York City at night, which was so beautiful. So I'm just cleaning off my little light bulb stamp here. And it was so much fun. I don't really mind driving far distances by myself, but it was pretty cool. It was a really nice ride. I'm going to stick with, I think, some, I don't know. Do I want to go with, like, keeping with the bright colors, like Mary Merlot, or do we want to go with traditional Christmas colors on the front of this? You might meet them, Diana, one day. All you have to do is sign up and go to one. I went to the first one with my friend Rhonda, so that was pretty fun. We really did have a good time, but I went last time by myself. I drove up by myself. It was a lot of fun. Merlot and gold. Oh, girl, look at you throwing me for a loop. I'll tell you what I do have. Instead of gold, because I did punch a couple of these out already. Where are they? I do have some... Oh, you know why? Because I brought them up here to the front. I do have some bulbs that I added these to. I know these are already, I stamped these already, so it's kind of redundant, but you could punch these out, and then I punched out the little tiny light bulb part. I put those on there. This is red, so we don't want to use that. But I did a couple of them in glimmer paper, too. You could do them in glimmer paper. Wouldn't exactly match, but kind of close enough, so you could do your bulbs like that. That'd be pretty fun. You could do these bulbs. And then I think I have some green and some gold. What are we saying? You're going alone. Hey, you know what? Hey, you're going, and once you get there, you won't be alone because there'll be all these other people that love to stamp. So that is definitely really, really fun. All right, I'm going to grab my other paper. So we can do a couple of these. I just have some of this trimmed. We'll just do a few of these. This will be fun. Make it different. So I'm going to just punch these. I'm just trying to save my paper. So I'm going to punch out this. I see I have enough red. Let me add in a green or two. All right, there's a green. This is from the Joyous Noel Glimmer paper too, in case you're wondering. So we have 2 greens. This one is kind of like a coppery gold, and then a iridescent one. So we'll go with that. That way it has like a little bit of something to it. Okay, and I'm going to add these on with dimensionals, or what I have left of dimensionals. So I'm going to just snip these up. If you guys don't use the ends of these, I use these all the time, these little bits. So I'll just cut them off. They're really simple, economical, good way to use all of your, even your edges of your dimensionals up. Your economics teacher, do they even have that class in high school anymore? They would be very proud of you for using everything that you have. Just trim some of these off. 2 more, I think. And we'll see how these fit. Now, some of these might be a little bit off of the page, so we might not be able to add them all. But what I'm going to do before we do this is I'm going to just stamp in, where did I do with this? I'm going to just stamp this in a really light yellow, so it kind of gives like a glimmer behind it. So I have So Saffron. Let's see what this looks like. Put one here. Kind of so it has like that light up part underneath of it. And again, I'm kind of doing the same thing, like stamping off before I do it, so they're not full strength on each one. Okay. And then you also have this little tiny thing down here that has like the bright light part of your bulb. So we'll stamp that as well. Let me just move this over. Ow, I will be here on the replay, no worries. Hey Tammy, I was just talking about you guys, talking about on stage and how much fun we had in Richmond last time. I'm going to do crushed curry for the bright part, just so it like shines down a little bit more. And the other reason I kind of wanted to do this, that way it would be just something under there in case you look, so you would see something underneath of this light bulb here, okay? Just like that. You could do this in different colors. You don't have to do it in the colors that I picked. But I kind of figured that way it would at least be like a little bit of something underneath. If you look under it, it's not just like a blank space. So we're going to go ahead and peel off our backings. Before we do that, let me just see how we like these so we can figure out which ones we want to have where. Green. I don't know. We might have to ditch this white one. I'm not sure if I like it or not. Or should we swap with this one? Or we could also make it unpatterned. So we can go with this. Bring out this red one instead. So there's no repeaters. But we go with a little bit more red. We're going to do that. You're a looker. That's exactly right. When you know people are going to look under stuff. But it kind of is neat because it also gives it like that little edge to it. Let's line these up. You can also, if you wanted to, if you like the way the bulbs are, but you also don't like the shadow, the other thing you could do too is, we're kind of lining these up just slightly, you could punch out the little, oops, let me move that down a little bit. You could punch out, where's the other thing? You could punch out this little piece just in some shaded spruce and lay it on top of them, which I kind of think might be a good idea. So I'm going to just grab a little piece of this. And I can always use these for later, so I'm just going to go ahead and punch out 5 of them. You could always use the green for something else, so. All right, we'll just pop these on with some glue dots. Where's my glue dots? Nope, that's wrong. That's when you know you work in the medical field, when instead of picking up your paper piercer, you're picking up a syringe. Whoopsie. All right, let's see. See if this will stick on there. So kind of give that brightness. So this gives like that dull look to them. So I'm just picking these up with my, this is my super old paper piercer, and putting them right on top of there. And you could do the same thing with these instead. You could just lay them on there. That way you remember where you have them. And then pick it up. But I kind of find that these are kind of tiny, so you might have to wad that glue dot. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't put this one on in the right spot. It's not low enough. So you want to put these on kind of near the bottom. That way you can get it to, see, look at that, stick to your glimmer paper. Let me try this one again. And that one that has it. Nope, it's this one. I'm going to add one more glue dot. You could put these on with the dimensional too if you wanted to. 1, 2 more. Kind of stick these down at the bottom. So we are very confused also, just to take a sidebar here. So as a family, we're going on a vacation in Disney World, which just so happened coincidentally coincided with On Stage. So that kind of was like a happy accident. There we go. We're going to use that. But I don't know how to pack because it's freezing up here. And there's probably a good chance it could be fall by the time we get down there. There we go. That'll be fun. You could also trim this down a little bit if you don't like all that showing. I'm going to put another layer behind this as well. And then I'm going to put May Your Christmas Be on the inside. Where do we do that? We did that with Bright. So I'm going to do this one in the Merry Merlot. But I don't know how to pack because in Disney World right now it's like 94 degrees with 800% humidity. Up here it's freezing, and then there's always the chance that by the time we get there, it'll be chilly. So I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to pack some leggings and sweatshirts. All right, so I'm going to add May Your Christmas Be down here at the bottom. Very pretty. And then on the inside, it's going to say bright, which is fun. We could, while we have this out, so this is going to lay directly onto this paper here. We could sponge that if you wanted to. You could sponge that in Mary Merlot just to bring it in a little bit more. We could sponge this one, but I'm actually going to layer this onto something, so I'm not going to sponge it. But I think I'm going to layer this onto some shaded spruce just to pick the color up again. So this was 3 by 4. So I'm going to just make this just a teeny bit bigger, just so there's the tiniest overlay, because I don't want to cover up that cardstock too much. Or the DSP, I should say. So I'm going to cut this at, I'm going to cut it at 3 1/4, and I think that should be fine. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Let's see how that looks. That's pretty. That's good enough. You could always cut this down so it was just a very tiny border as well. So you could do just an 1/8. And then we're going to put this together. We'll see if it actually works or not. So everybody cross your fingers. I'm going to go ahead and layer this here first. Just going to put this one with some fast fuse. You definitely want to make sure that since this card is a card that kind of opens and has a little movement to it, that you use a really good adhesive. And I don't want to touch anything yet because I know that some of this still isn't dry. Put this on. Same thing with some fast fuse. And I'm not going to put the front piece on yet, just so I can have a little time to fool with it if I need to. So put this on the front. Okay, I'm going to put some, I know this is a shame to cover up, but I kind of want something a little more muted. I'm going to put DSP, or put adhesive on the back of both of these. That way when I have them ready, I can just pop it in. Do want to make sure that you go all the way to the edges with this. If you are concerned with it lining up, you could also use Tombow liquid glue. That way you can move it around a little bit. That's another option for you. Set these two on the side. Okay. So now what we're going to do, and I am going to use Tombow for this part here. I'm going to put Tombow on this panel on the back, on both of the back of these, so I can move it in. That is the worst part about the DSP. You are 100% right about that, because you always have to cover up one side. But you think you used a couple different layers of this, so you could always use different pieces. So I'm going to put some Tombow here. Oops. Same on this one. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to put these together. Make sure they're lined up. And I'm going to fold these over. Try not to get my fingers too inky. I'm going to kind of decide where I want to lay it. So we'll go with here. Okay. And then I'm going to just, whoops, close it. Let me see. Did I close that correctly? Nope, sure didn't. So that's a nice thing about the Tombow. It does let you adjust stuff. And we probably could have put a little bit of adhesive on here. So while I'm at this, let me just peel this up just quickly. I'm going to put just a little bit of Tombow right here at the bottom. And I'm going to put a little bit up here in this part, just to kind of keep it so it has a little bit more of a sturdiness to it. And then fold this over. And when this dries, it is going to dry clear. I'm going to put a little bit more back on top of this, just since we already put it up there. Okay, let me see how that looks. Give this a press. Same thing on this side. All right, and then the middle is together. So you still want to have your little gap in here. So that's why I only put it like right on the edges on the side. You can make sure this still fits. Hopefully it actually does fit, because I didn't check that. That would be very smart to make sure you do ahead of time, Rachel. Don't mind me, I'm talking to myself. So here's your little flap for your gift card. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our panels, and look at that. Put it on the wrong side. See, so I'm not even going to cover up this DSP. I did the wrong side. All right, so we're going to lay this here. And I'm just kind of lightly laying it down because I want to make sure everything still closes and folds the way it should. And then this piece, at least I put this one on the right side, put over here. So let's make sure it closes, opens, flaps. All right, so now I have very, very sticky fingers, so I'm going to just use my bone folder just to lightly run over this to make sure it's pressed. Look at that, I just messed it up. Look, black streaks. Ah, oh, Lord have mercy. Well, that's going to be like a dripping bright Christmas card. Somebody's going to be like, what in the world happened to this? I should just use my dirty fingers. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool, Dana. She will love that. We went to Disney World the year before last as well, so. Oh, Lord. All right, so I'm going to add this to the front. Let's see if I can do this part without smudging it. I'm going to put some Fast Fuse on the back. Gotta love it over here. Blondie just had her hair re-highlighted, so it must have taken root into my brain when I smudged that. Look how dirty that is, too. Why would I even do that? Ugh. Good gravy. All right, I'm going to lay this on top. Hopefully, they'll be so distracted by the fact that they got a Disney gift card right in here that they won't even notice that there's streaks on there. Isn't that the way it's supposed to work? Now, I will tell you one thing. This card is a little bit thicker, but it still will fit in a regular envelope. I'm going to attempt to pull one down without knocking the joint down. Let's see if we can pop that in there. You could make this again, though, into a gift card that you're going to hand out in person. Should not cost any more postage. Should slide in here. Yep. Very easily. It will be a little bit thick, but I will tell you, I have taken several gifts or several heavy cards to the post office, and I've had them weighed. And usually when you hand them to the person at the desk, I have had them check. We kind of have a smaller post office up here, like more of a country post office, and they've never told me that anything's weighed anymore. This one does have a little bit of weight, but it should still be able to be mailed as a regular card. You know what I might do after? I might try and erase this with an eraser. We'll see. If not, you could always do another panel and cover it up, or just be very careful and don't rub your bone folder over top of it. You could sponge. That is a very good idea, Janet. Sponging is always a good idea. We could sponge with a really light yellow. So we're here, might as well, right? I have a clean sponge that I found in the trash can, which I'm hoping that's somewhere where my stamp is. So we'll just do a little bit of sponging down here. Kind of like the stars. That was a really good idea there, Janet. And just spread it around a little bit. You're probably going to be like, what is this? Is heaven shining down on you for Christmas. Yeah, so it covered it slightly, but it is kind of dark. So for me, I would just say, don't rub your bone folder across it. Just go clean your fingers before you put it together. But it's a cute card. Really cute. This actually turned out really well considering this is the first one I made. So I got to say, I'm very proud of myself. I'll make sure this is pressed down all the way. Again, we did run this part right here. You can see through the subtles folder for the flap. And then we have our other panel that covers up the flap. Really cute. May your Christmas be bright. So how adorable is that? It's really fun. Really fun card. Again, it does fit into a regular envelope. Shouldn't cost you any more postage. You could also put, like if you wanted to put a check in here, you could put some cash in here. If you're not sending out a gift card, you probably could fit, you know, there's little Ghirardelli squares. They probably would fit in here too if you just wanted to give somebody some candy or something like that. But fits in there very nicely. And then later on, my goodness, it's only 10:15. I'm 15 minutes early. I don't think I've ever finished this early before. I will do another one with the animal outing for a baby shower kind of card. And then I'll do one, I think instead of doing a full, I'll do something more like a masculine card. Because I know a lot of times people struggle with the masculine cards. This does have a little bit of a fatness to the side because of the spine of this, but it still closes very nicely. And it does stand completely on its own. Looks really nice when they can display it like that. So, turned out very, very cute. Again, this was using the Making Christmas Bright stamp set, and then that also has a coordinating punch. If you buy those together, you can bundle them and save 10%. Also, just a note, bundles only last while the catalog is still like in its prime. So once January comes, if any of this stuff carries over into the occasions catalog or comes part of the new catalog, you can't buy things at a bundle price anymore. So if there's something that you're really considering getting and you wanna, and you're like, well, I'm not really sure, you're better off getting it with a bundle and saving 10%. Also, another thing that maybe sometimes people don't think about is if you're considering getting it and then maybe you're going to use it for whatever, you can also usually get more for your money if you're going to resale them if you have them as a bundle. So just a note to keep in mind. But once again, if you purchase anything in my online store through Saturday the 20th, you have to use the October Hostess code that's listed on here. In addition to the freebies you get if you spend at least $50, I will also send you a pack of a DSP share pack that I have. I have some nice Christmas paper that I can share with you guys. So, thank you all for watching. You will be able to find all the instructions on how to make this lovely little gift card holder on my blog later, which is Rachthestamper. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. That way, every time I put a new post on there, it will send you an alert. You can find me here on Facebook. I'm going to try to come back again one other time this week. I'm not sure if it'll be tomorrow or Friday. Here or on YouTube, where you can also find me at Rachthestamper. And you can get all these supplies and more in my online store 24/7, rachthestamper.stampinup.net. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I'll see you soon.